All right, time check. We like to start on time. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission and PSEG Clean Energy and Efficiency Program webinar. I'm really excited to have you here. We are recording the meeting just for some housekeeping. If you do have any questions and answers for the Q&A portion, we will save that for the end, but you can use the Q&A feature throughout the presentation, and our wonderful guest will be answering them at the end. Just before we get started, you're just hear really quickly from me. My name is Wesley McWhite. I am the director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and then I'm going to turn it over to the executive director of the Cannabis Training Academy, housed with inside the Business Action Center, Tahid Chappelle, to talk to you about the work that the Cannabis Training Academy has done so far and looking to engage with you as business owners who are open and operating to see how the CTA could be of usefulness and be a resource to you all as well. All right, so let's get started. There we go. So the Office of Diversity and Inclusion is a statutorily mandated office. I'm not going to go into the long name that it is in statute, but just a quick breakdown. We are to promote and facilitate a diverse cannabis market in New Jersey. We're to outreach to under and unrepresented communities with information about the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. We are to develop and recommend diverse policies, practices, and procedures. We're to evaluate our effectiveness as an agency, and we're to see no less than 30% of a total number of licenses issued to certified minority, women's, and disabled veteran-owned businesses. So what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? That means we are an office that helps you with cure assistance. If you ever received a cure letter from certain individual applications, my signature was probably on that. Our office is here to help you assist with that, along with the Office of Licensing and the Office of Compliance and Investigations. We serve as a liaison, speaking of those other offices, to appropriate NJCRC offices for issues that you may be having, for some communication that you would like us for us to see through for you. And we also connect you with our sister agencies like the New Jersey Business Action Center and the Cannabis Training Academy, who is here today, with the Economic Development Authority, with the Department of Labor, and the list goes on. We attend community events. If invited, you can invite us to community events through our website under Request for Speaker at events, or requesting for us just to attend an event. We also serve as educational resource. So if you would like us to come to your community to educate folks about the cannabis industry, about our medical program as well. And we also are here to solicit your feedback as well. We've been doing some focus groups and listening sessions. We will continue those throughout the year. I'm really looking forward to your feedback as well. And so without further ado, I would like to, the reason you're here today, we're going to break down cannabis. Our guest is going to break down cannabis businesses who may qualify for several different PSEG and energy efficiency programs. The PSEG team will determine eligibility. The CRC is just serving as a conduit to bring you this information. And from this point on, you will be working with PSEG to determine your eligibility. And for any and all questions that you may have for us at the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, we can be reached at odi@crc.nj.gov. But do not want to turn it over without introducing just one of our team members. Her name is Nana Amponsa. If you do not know her already, many of you already do. You go ahead, Nana, give them a wave. Hey. And then Glenn, I don't see Glenn on here, but you all know Glenn Walker. I say I want them on camera for a reason. We are a mighty team of three. There he is. Let me pull him up. He'll be on in a sec. We are a mighty team of three, but if you send us an email, we will be sure to get back to you for whatever assistance that we can help you with. And so without further ado, Glenn, wave to the people. Where you at? He's just a plant right now. There he is. Get into these backgrounds. These backgrounds are nice, right? I do want to thank Christine Carr. She is our public information officer who is always ready, willing, and able to make sure that we are communicating these things out to the masses. So thank you again, Christine Carr, who will also be helping us with the Q&A feature at the end. Thanks so much, Christine. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Tahid Chappelle, and then right after that, you're going to hear from Glenn Williams from the PSEG program yourself. So go ahead, take it away, Tahid.
Thank you, Wes. Hey, everybody. My name is Tahit Chappelle. Like Wes had mentioned, I'm the executive director of the Cannabis Training Academy. We sit within the New Jersey Department of State's Business Action Center. I am not a regulator. We are not regulators, but we are business advocates, and we are here to help support you. This is our mighty team of five. We have the Deputy Executive Director, Penny Wild, and the Executive Director, Melanie Willoughby, who lead the Business Action Center. I'm also joined by my colleagues Precious, Colin, and Gabby, who really make the backbone of our online program run. We'll go to the next slide. So just a little bit about the Business Action Center before I talk about the Cannabis Training Academy. The Business Action Center is here to help all businesses in New Jersey. We're here to help you start businesses. We're here to help you look for government resources, grants, things that you may be eligible for as a business. And we understand that with Schedule 1 and marijuana still being a Schedule 1 narcotic, and with federal money, that there is a little bit of limitations there, but we can try to help you and connect you with various vendors and partners that may be able to help support your business from a financial, technical, or workforce perspective. And then we also have an Office of Export Promotion. So if you have any sort of other New Jersey-based product or service, i.e. you have a consulting company that is separate from your cannabis business, the Office of Export Promotion can send you globally. They look for trade shows and other places that could place New Jersey-based products or services. So if you're thinking internationally, that is an office that provides that type of insight. And also, if you're looking to reach a diverse community and a community with a different language, they can also do things like look for ways to translate your website into different languages to reach different audiences too. So if you ever have any sort of questions around business, if you're ever running into any issues with other state agencies, municipalities, or just need someone to help you guide you through the government, you can think of us as government navigators. You can always reach out to us. You can even call us at 1-800-JERSEY-7, and you'll be able to talk to one of our representatives too. So this is a free resource. The New Jersey Business Action Center is an open resource for all businesses. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any general business inquiries. Next slide. Specifically, the Cannabis Training Academy, which I run. We are here to educate people. The Cannabis Training Academy offers a variety of different types of education. The primary one is to help people understand the licensing application process. For many of you who already have a license, you will still find some interesting insight on other types of license types if you're thinking about expanding your portfolio. This is also an opportunity for your employees to learn a little bit more about the cannabis industry and things that you've had to go through as an operator to get to where you are right now. We want to make sure that we are empowering people to make the best business decisions for themselves, whether they want to continue to go for a license or different licenses, whether they want to work for another license, or whether they want to start an ancillary business that supports the supply chain system. We're here to make sure that you make the best business decisions for yourself with our no-cost education and curriculum. And then last but not least, if you have not gone for a license and you want to establish a license through us, going through our program will help you feel empowered to make the best business decision and apply for a license. Now, the Cannabis Training Academy is an online program and is at no cost. If you go to cta.nj.gov, you can learn more about our program. The core curriculum, which walks you through the licensing application process step by step, you can see these 10 levels. There are 60 online modules that are sprinkled throughout these 10 levels, and they will give you some insight on everything that you're going to need to know about the application process. And especially if you are a conditional license holder, if you look at level 6, we have specific levels and courses focused on the conditional to conversion process. And if you are looking to just apply for an annual license, we also have specific things that you will need to know about submitting your application for an annual license in totality. I will also mention too is that we've had annual license holders go through our program and have given us testimony saying that they have learned more about things that they should have known, but also things that they can still apply to their current business operations. If you look at level 9 specifically, SOPs, everybody needs SOPs. You need to submit SOPs. You need to review your SOPs. That is an incredible level for annual license holders, especially for your employees to really understand compliance. I will also say as a license holder, level 7, labor union, you need to know about labor peace agreements. You need to know how to interact as an employer with the union. That is an incredible level for people to understand how to engage as a license holder. And then other things that might be of interest for you all, level 2, laws, regulations, and the history. You may need to refresh yourself on the laws and the regulations that you operate under. So there's always a little bit of something for everybody. And as of now, too, you can log in and register, and you can go in and select every single or any single course that you like. So you can go in a la carte, you can check out a specific level if you'd like, you can select a different course however you want. But I will say, if you are new to the process or you are still going through the licensing application process, I do recommend you start at level 1 and you continue through levels 2, 3, 4, etc. because the later levels will reference earlier material and we don't want anyone to be confused. Again, this program mirrors the licensing application process, so it would benefit you to go at your own pace. There are a combination of videos and PowerPoint presentations. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Next slide. For those that have an annual license and you are onboarding new employees, or you are already in operations but you are still bringing in new people, we looked at the rules and regulations and saw that the CRC rules and regulations require that you attest that you are educating and training your new employees and yourselves as operators to get your cannabis badge, which is a required badge that you need to have every single year to make sure that you are compliant and are able to work in the industry. So we have provided you some free curriculum around the badging topics as they are listed within the rules and regulations. What are those? Next slide. So within the rules and regulations, the CRC lists out the 8 minimum topics that they recommend that you should be educating and or training new people as they continue their badging journey to get their badge. These are very specific topics that we touch on. You can go through our program. You can go through these courses. Again, all of this is online. You can go through it, finish the courses, take a very quick quiz, give us some survey feedback on the quality of education, and then you'll generate a certificate of completion that validates that you have gone through the Cannabis Training Academy, done your badging curriculum education, and you have something for your compliance officer, for your CRC compliance officer, etc., etc. We have heard from other licensees that sometimes the compliance officers do ask about education. Sometimes the compliance officers do ask about continuous training. We recommend that not only do your employees obviously train and understand your SOPs, but if you're looking for a way to develop or skill up your employees, this is an opportunity to do that. And if you are hiring a new person and you are bringing them on, this is another way to give them part of that educational requirement as part of their badging journey. Next slide. The last thing I'll mention too, if you have never badged a person, if you've never gone through the badging process in general, we actually have a standalone course that you can look at that will take you through the initial badging journey, so you know exactly what you need to do to get yourself badged, and you'll know what to do with other people as you onboard new employees and staff. We also have 2 specific courses focused on the renewal process for your badging, which comes around every year, and your annual license renewal, which comes around every year. We always recommend that not only do you take these courses, which again, online, no cost, but you start your renewal process early so you don't lapse in any of your badging or your license and you don't fall out of compliance. The last thing I'll mention too with our badging curriculum and these courses, there are many other vendors that offer this type of training as well. Ours is not mandatory, but we will say that ours is at no cost. So if you're looking to save some money, you can absolutely go to cta.nj.gov, register, and participate in these curriculums and courses. But we also recommend you look at other options too, because there are other vendors that offer specific type of license training, etc. All that information is under our FAQ section if you go to cta.nj.gov. Next slide and last slide. So if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through the cta@sos.nj.gov email. You can also reach out to me through my personal work email that's right there. You can always contact the New Jersey Business Action Center and they will connect you with us. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn for updates on the industry, updates on our program. And let me know if you have any questions. We are here to support you and make sure that this industry is the best industry in the country. That's it. Thank you, Wes.
No problem. And then just the last slide is just any Business Action Center information, but if you contact Tahid, he can get you connected to them as well. Thank you so much, Tahid, for being here. And please, if you are a business that's already open, please try to utilize some of the services that Tahid offers now. And if not, please engage with them. Let them know what is needed so that we can continue to work with them to craft services that and educational services and resources that help you all that are already opened. Thanks again, Tahid. And so, without further ado, I got to stop saying that. I am not Christopher Riggs, our acting executive director. I don't know why my name won't change, but again, I am Wesley McWhite. I'm the director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Do bring you greetings from our acting executive director, Chris Riggs, who fully supports this program today. And so, I want to introduce you to a very good friend of ours, Glenn Williams, over at PSEG. He's going to walk you through his program and answer any Q&As that you may have, and he'll take it away from here. Go ahead, Glenn, and thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Christopher. I'd like to introduce myself first of all. My name is Glenn Williams. I am a senior energy efficiency advisor with a company called TRC. We oversee the programs for PSEG. I like to I am so delighted, first of all, to start off with. I am delighted and excited to have the invitation to join because I'm learning so much about this industry as we go along. And the team over there with Christopher, Nana, and Glenn have been very
Wesley,
supportive.
Glenn,
Wesley.
Wesley.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wesley. I'm sorry. And and Wesley, I like to thank you because you've been a tremendous, tremendous support to me as far as getting started and introducing me to the industry itself. So definitely like to thank you guys and look forward to let's get this show on the road. Okay, to start off with, again, my name is Glenn Williams. I am with TRC. TRC is the implementation company that oversees the programs for PSEG. You want to look at TRC as we support the applications. We have a staff of engineers, energy efficiency advisors, project coordinators. We have a call center, close to 85 employees working to oversee this program. PSEG likes to refer to themselves as the bank. They're the ones with the money that you want to secure that funding from. So there are two programs that are currently running currently, prescriptive program and the direct install program. We're going to break down and go into each one as we go along. To start off with, there's the prescriptive program. The prescriptive program is more like for like, one for one, pre-established measures, as we call it. You're going to hear me mention measures. Measures are your lighting, your HVAC, the units itself. We call those things measure. So again, the prescriptive program is a straightforward like for like equipment replacement rebates. And with these programs, there are no upfront costs at all. PSE&G will either write the check to the customer or they write the check to the contractor based on which program you decide to move with. Customers may perform the improvement themselves. We call those self installations. And a perfect example of that is a lighting project. If you're replacing a flat panel 2x4 LED fluorescent bulbs with some LEDs, and you purchase the lights, let's say off Amazon or Home Depot, you can get the rebates. The rebate checks will go directly towards you. Or you can work with any contractor of your choice. A lot of times I receive phone calls and they say, well, I got a guy that I've been working with for years and he's been a great help and he knows my business inside and out. You can use that contractor under the prescriptive program. The direct install program is a little differently. Eligibility requirements for the prescriptive applications. Applicant must be a PSEG electric and gas customer contributing to societal benefit charge or in a non-residential rate scheduler. That means you're not a resident, you don't own a resident. This is for commercial, industrial, nonprofit businesses only. If you are seeking energy efficiency for your residential, there is a residential program that is available. I'm in contact with the folks on that side. So if you need contact with for residential, I can always get you in contact with them. But this is a commercial, industrial, and nonprofit. And also on top of that, uh, project must result in a permanent reduction in kilowatts. I should have started off with the purpose for this program, these programs that PSEG implemented. And not only does PSEG have these programs, whether the utility company you have, they have similar programs. But the difference is PSEG rebates and the money is much more robust. So the projects must result in a reduction of kilowatts or therms, as we call it. Kilowatts is your electricity, therms referred to as the gas. So in order to get the rebates, you must show that there's a reduction in the, because the purpose of this program is to help you reduce your utility bill by up to 30%. Again, let me repeat that because most people don't, they're scratching their head and they say, why is PSEG looking to help me lower my bill? The purpose of the program is to help you lower the utility bill by up to 30%. And the way we do that is we look at measures that are old, outdated, that are inefficient, replace that with new equipment, and PSE&G has the rebates to for those. It's similar to when you walk into Home Depot or Lowe's and you're looking to purchase that appliance, that washing machine, that dryer. You want to look for an appliance that has the Energy Star on it, energy efficiency, because it's going to help you lower your utility bill. Perfect example is that my dad had called me. He replaced his HVAC unit. When he replaced his HVAC unit with a newer unit, he upgraded. Not only did he save money, but he also saving money on his utility bill because it said it helped him lower his bill by over $100 a month. That's the saving, energy savings that we're looking to accomplish here. This is a perfect example of the prescriptive guide. So under the prescriptive program, as I mentioned earlier, it's a like for like replacement. And if you look here, you can see I highlighted an example. If you have a warehouse, and in your warehouse, you have high bays over 25 feet, the lighting. So you have high bays in your warehouse and you want to replace and you want to add it's 20,000 to up to 30,000 lumens. That's the light efficiency. It's $200 per fixture. Very straightforward, very cut and dry, like for like. So whatever you're replacing, if it's a 2x4 flat panel, you may get $40 per fixture. That's the prescriptive program. One for like replacement. Last year, 2023 to 2025, the prescriptive participation snapshot, we have had over 590 plus applicants or trade allies registered. If you see 4.6 million total therms saved, over $101 million in incentives paid out. Over $100 million in incentives paid out. And I always ask people this one question. Have you received any of those benefits? And the answer always get, no, I have not, because you haven't participated in the program. And a lot of people not aware that these programs are available. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to share the love and to spread the word to let you know that these programs are available. They're here to help you to replace your equipment, and they're here to help you save money on the installation costs. The next program is the direct install program. I call this one the granddaddy of all programs. This program pays up to 80%. So for tier one customers, those are customers when you look at your utility bill, most people chuck and only look at the first page of the bill, but they're not looking at the following pages where you will have your energy usage on there. If you are looking at those pages, look at, I think it's page 2 or 3. It will show your kilowatt usage, peak demand. If you're under 100 kilowatt usage, which is a lot, and 5,000 therms, again, kilowatts is electric, therms is gas, you can receive up to 80% of the cost to replace. Tier two customers, those are your customers that fall under your UEZ, opportunity zones, or nonprofits. So your tier two customers under 300 kW or 40,000 therms can again receive up to 80% on the replacement. For tier three customers, which are your larger facilities, which is under 300 kilowatts, 400 therms. So those are the customers that have exceeded the 100 kW, let's say from 101 to 300. You can receive up to 70%. And a perfect example of how that works, just to give you an idea, let's say you're replacing a rooftop unit in HVAC. That HVAC unit is over 20 years of age. I always tell people the threshold you want to look at. Once that unit reaches 15 years of age, you need to start considering replacing it. After 20 years of age, replace it because it's on its last leg. So that unit that's over 20 years of age, that unit that is very inefficient, and let's say it's a 5 ton unit, and that 5 ton unit and contractor comes out, provides you an invoice, and the invoice to replace that unit is $15,000. Under the prescriptive program will pay out based on, again, the incentives are already set in stone. It may be $100 per ton. So on a 5 ton unit, you may get up to $500. But under the direct install program for qualifying customers, you may get up to 80%. So that may be up to $12,000 you'll receive off of the 15,000. So that's a huge, tremendous savings for those folks that are sitting there saying, I can't afford to do it. You can't afford to do it. The money is available. The direct install program, again, expanded its reach. It used to be from 1 to 200, but PSEG as of 2025 upped the threshold to 300 kW, which means that more people are eligible. Within the open network, more customers are of again eligible. Those are your nonprofits, your faith-based. I am getting a ton of phone calls from pastors. A lot of churches are calling me because summer's coming up and they'd be sitting in church with their Martin Luther King fanning themselves with hot air. You can replace that unit through the direct install program because they're nonprofit, 501c3. You can have get the rebates on that. The direct install participation snapshot. We have, again, when you see that center circle, it says 280 plus trade allies. When you see that, that's referring to the contractors that are part of the program. That number has increased. There are close to 400 trade allies that have been carefully vetted through the program. In order for a trade out, because we're also looking for contractors as well, always looking for extra contractors. So when a contractor comes through, there's a vetting process and insurance process they have to go through in order to be part of this program. So when a contractor is sent to your location, be understand that they were vetted and they were screened. So also when you look at $209 million in incentives paid out, that's a lot of money. $209 million in incentives paid out. And again, one of the things we look at is the kilowatt savings. What was the therms and the kilowatt savings that we have? 4.8 million in therms, 57 million in kilowatts saved for customers. So when you look at those savings, when you hear 57 million kilowatts saved, that means somewhere along the line, people are now getting lower utility bills because their kilowatts have been reduced through this program and through the upgrades. I had to do a little digging around because the cannabis, again, I have to really thank Wesley for inviting me because I had to educate myself as well because we don't get many uh, customers calling in from the cannabis industry. So I had to do a little digging around, use AI, of course, to get some data. Because what I like to do when I do a site visit or a site walkthrough, I need to know stats. I like numbers. I need to see numbers. And when I was pulling up some data, one of the things I realized is that with the cannabis industry, lighting is a huge energy consumption on your facility. Cooling is a huge energy consumption. So when I look at those two things, I had to put together a chart and a graph just to come up with an idea of what type of measures we really need to focus on when I walk into your facility. When I do a walkthrough, I'm looking for what type of lighting you're using. Can we replace that lighting with some LEDs? What type of cooling system do you need and do you need to upgrade with? Humidifiers. Those are important as well. So these are some of the common measures that I had to pull from AI. Do it the energy efficient way. Improving energy efficiency in the cannabis industry focused on three main areas: high performance lighting, integrated climate control, and data driven management. And when we look at most industries, it's similar to most companies that I walk into. If I was to walk into a manufacturer or an industrial warehouse, I'm looking at the same thing. So it's no difference than most other industry. I'm looking at the lighting. What type of lighting are they using there? Lighting is often the largest draw, as I mentioned earlier, of consumption in cannabis industry. So there's different types of lighting. You want to look at the LED fixtures. We have a list of LED required lightings that are covered under the program. Advanced climate control. When you talk about your advanced climate control, you're looking at dehumidification system. You're looking at your HVAC systems as well, your cooling system. Operational building efficiency. That is your BMS system, your building management system. You want to look at your lighting controls. How often do you need the lighting on? Do you want to stagger the lighting? So, do you want to stagger your HVAC usage? So, you want to look at a BMS system, building management control. Direct install and prescriptive measures. As I mentioned earlier, measures you want to is another word that we use for your units to describe your lighting, to describe your HVAC system. So these are the common measures that I was able to pull out of our deck and see which measures will apply in the cannabis industry. And I highlighted a few, which is obviously the LED lighting, advanced climate control, HVAC optimization, smart automation, the data management, that's the DMS system, the heating, hot water, and hot water control. Some stores have mini splits inside, advanced rooftop controls, dishwashers. And so these are some of the common measures that you want to think about. If you have any of these measures or any of this equipment, that's exceeding 15 years of age or exceeding 20 plus years of age, you may have moved into a space that you inherit. And this space, it has an older HVAC system on it and it hasn't been replaced. Think about replacing that. I can come through, do an energy efficient, I can do a level one audit and determine some of the things that you can replace and what program it would apply to. Program resources. There are, under this program, the direct install and the prescriptive program, there are other resources that are available that I didn't touch on. So, a perfect example is what we always like to use acronyms, the OBR, the on bill repayment plan. The on bill repayment plan applies to the balance. So, example that I used earlier was that if there's a $15,000 for a 5 ton unit, and that number includes labor and material. I should have mentioned that the difference between a prescriptive and a direct install, the prescriptive program, the checks are sent directly to the customer, and the checks do not include labor charges. So you may hire someone to come in and do the work for you, but the labor charges are not included in that application. Under the direct install program, it includes labor and material. So the labor charges that are applied and the checks are paid directly to the contractor. So you don't have to pay the contractor. Under the direct install, PSE&G pays the contractor for you. So the example that I used earlier on a 5-ton unit, which is let's say $15,000, just to play with some numbers. So if it's 15 grand and PSE&G is paying, let's say, $11,000 of that. Of the $11,000, now you have a $4,000 balance, which is great because you could have been on the hook for 15, but now your balance is only 4,000. So with that $4,000, you have two options on the back end. You can work out payment arrangements with the contractor, or you can add the $4,000 balance to your PSE&G utility bill, spread over 5 years with zero interest. Again, the OBR, on bill repayment, is only for the balance spread over 5 years. And when you spread it over 5 years, it pays off the balance. So that is your OBR. And here's a perfect example of it, the OBR, on bill repayment. So if you have a refrigeration, cooling, lighting, there's tons of measures. There's close to almost over 100 different measures that's included in this program. So it's quite a bit of units and equipment that will be covered under this program. The other resource that's available is what we call the 90-day look back program. So the easiest way to explain the 90-day look back is any projects that you have recently installed. So when you think about it, think back 3 months. What did I put in? Did I put in some new LED lights? Did I have such and such replaced? And we will determine if it's eligible energy efficient equipment. So you know you install some LED lights. We'll check the lights for you. If the lights are eligible and you did not get the rebates for it, we will do a 90-day look back and send a rebate check to the customer for the 90-day look back. Stackable. I like to describe stackable programs like this. We all go to the supermarket. We go to the supermarket and we may have a coupon for some orange juice. So that coupon that you have for orange juice, you have maybe 3 coupons in your hand, but you only can use one. So you use that one coupon for your orange juice. Our programs are stackable. I have contacts. I work very closely with the New Jersey Business Action Center, with the guys over there. And they will put you in contact with other programs and resources that can be combined with our program. So, perfect example is working with a company, and they have a ton of HVAC units that need to replace. They have 15 rooftop units they need to replace. We give them maybe the project's $100,000 and we're paying 60,000. So now they have like a $40,000 bonus. So what they can do, balance. So what they can do with that $40,000 bonus, contact someone at the New Jersey Business Action Center. My buddies over there, Steven or one of the guys, or Greg, or Miles, contact one of those guys. They will help you and guide you to the right resources that are available, like NJEDA is one of the programs. So they may guide you NJEDA, and you can have the NJEDA program with the PSEG incentive program. So the programs are stackable. That's exciting. There's also federal funding that is out there that's available for you as well. Next slide. On-site facility walkthroughs. That is someone such as myself. I will come out to your facility. I will take some pictures, do a walkthrough. If there's something that I think, the perfect way of looking at it is anything that is running on electricity or plugged into a wall, or anything that is using gas to operate. Those things are probably more than likely 95, 99% are, are eligible for the rebates. So when you look at something, let's say there's a motor There's a particular motor that's on a fan or some sort. Those motors that you may think that are not eligible for rebates are eligible for rebates. If we can show that there's a difference in efficiency, so I will come through, I will do a site walkthrough, I take pictures, I take notes, and I can determine what is eligible for those measures that I cannot that I say, ooh, this is a strong possibility. Again, we have a team of engineers. I will have one of my engineers look at it and they will come up with the final determination. So we have a team. Again, that's the consultation, which is myself, engineering team, EEAs. We have a call center, project coordinator, so that when your application is submitted through the PSEG portal, that application is pulled, it's reviewed by our engineer, looks at every application to make sure that your application is receiving the highest rebate and is filled out correctly. Once that application is uploaded and it next sent off to the inspector, an inspector will come out to your location. They will have a copy of your application. Now your application is very descriptive. It will say the site location, front office, little flat panel lighting. He will go to the front office, look at the flat panel lighting, and that's it. Only what's on the application will he inspect. After that, he brings the application back, takes us some pictures and all that good stuff. Then the pre-approval letter goes out. Pre-approval letter will be sent out to the contractor as well as yourself so they can begin the project. And the pre-approval letter is spelled out the project cost from the contractor's invoice, the rebate amount that's applied, and then there's the balance, whatever you're going to do with the balance. You contract or you put it on your utility bill. 95% of the customers add it to the utility bill. And again, for us to do a site walkthrough, it's free of charge. There's no charges. We don't charge anything for these programs. It's through PSEG. And this is all, the program is free of charge. Oh, okay. Now let's hear from you. What questions you may have for me. You ready, Wesley?
Yes, I'm going to turn it over to Christine. She's going to help us with this Q&A portion right now. But thank you again so much. You are a wealth of knowledge. Thank you for being available to do this with us. And I'm excited about some of the services you can possibly offer to some of our cannabis businesses. Go ahead, Christine.
I'm going to start with the first question we got from Mary Nichols. Says, we already have our manufacturing facility up and running. How do we know what we are qualified to apply for?
Easy question with an easy answer. That's where I can come out and do a walkthrough at your facility, and I can look and determine what measures will be eligible. Off the top of my head, just by doing some research, I can say whatever your heating and cooling unit, your refrigeration unit, your lighting, if you have any BMS system, building management controls like lighting controls or HVAC controls, those things off the top of my head, I can tell you are eligible. But there may be some other things that if I do a site walkthrough, I can identify and determine, oh, we missed this. There's a motor over here. There's a compressor over here. There's this, that, and the other. So there's many things that I can give you advice on once I do a walkthrough.
And just to add to that, for all the participants here and for everyone who registered, we're going to be sending out Glenn's registration form. It's going to ask some very basic information, contact information, the name of your business, the address of your business, the size, and your license type. And so that's going to go out after this webinar to all of you that have registered and are here today. Go ahead, Christine.
Okay, second question from David July. If I am a new tenant and I'm upgrading a broken 2-ton unit to a 10-ton unit, how could I get PSEG to help pay for equipment and install?
Okay. Tenants are a challenge only because you have to get the landlord's buy-in. I usually say for tenants, If you know that you're going to be in that space for more than 5 years, go ahead and do the upgrades. Because again, PSEG is paying the bulk of the costs under material and labor under direct install. And we also need to look at how long have you been in that space as a tenant. If you've been there under a year, let's take a look at some ways that we can get you this funding. But there's eligibility requirements for direct install. But there are programs that are available. Second thing I can do is I can talk to your landlord. A lot of times the landlords want to do these facility upgrades, but they can't afford them themselves, and they're not aware that the programs are available. Speaking to the landlord, letting the landlord know these programs are available. But the only difference you're going to have, the only drawback you'll run into is the on-bill balance. Do you want to do the balance on the on-bill repayment, or who wants to pay it off? Sometimes the landlords may just say, I'll pay off the balance for you because they're getting a great discount or deal on the rebates. But we can
Thank
sit
you.
down and talk about that. Yep.
Okay, this is Karina. I will not attempt the last name. I installed two split HVAC systems in 2023 during build out for my cannabis business. Am I still eligible for any savings?
2023 falls outside the window of the 90-day look back, unfortunately.
Okay. Are you recommending additional dehumidification for retailer to only cultivators?
To
Don't understand
everyone.
that.
This
Okay.
program is for everyone, retailers, cultivators, manufacturers, whomever. Long as you have a PSEG account or bill, you are eligible for the program.
Okay. We've got is federal funding available for the cannabis industry?
That I don't have any information on. I just know that there is federal funding that was available. I'm not sure under the new administration, but we can always check into that. I can get you some resources on that for you.
Okay, Brenda is saying she wants to be the first to schedule a meeting with your office. His contact information will be presented at the end, and you will also get a form after this webinar where you can reach out directly. Oh, and look, Karina corrected. She understands now that it's only a 90-day look back. Um, this one says, we're starting construction soon and want to know if any of these programs we can possibly qualify for at this point.
Yes, we do have some programs available under gut rehab and new construction. Incentives are not that robust. I talked to a few of the guys last week just to get an idea on the incentives for that. But again, let me look at your facility and see what kind of way we can work around and find some kind of workaround for you on those. Again, I would need to see the facility.
Okay, so be on the lookout for that email with the form so Glenn can reach out to you directly. And this one is from Brenda. I am with Atlantic Electric. How do I become a customer of PSEG, or would I need to change?
You do not need to change. You are with Ace, Atlantic City Electric. Not a problem. I can get you in touch with my buddy Greg Reinhardt. He's a colleague of mine. He has a they Atlantic City Ace has a similar program, and Greg oversees the program for Ace. So I can get you in contact with someone for Ace. Not a problem.
Okay. This says we are a micro cultivation company, but it's not a question per se.
Not a
Uh,
problem again. Again, I'm learning about this industry. This is all new to me. And I would love to come out to your facility, take a look around, because I can identify some measures that are easily to identify which will be eligible. But again, if I come out, I can come out with an engineer as well. and the engineers are much, much more knowledgeable on the little nuance, little things that I cannot identify. They can.
Okay. Naima says, if I'm knocking down my building and doing new construction, can I still apply?
Yes, you still can apply there. Again, there is funds available under the new construction, but again, the funds are not as robust. But I can put you in touch with Tim or somebody over in the new construction department that can help you with that.
Okay, and Mayon says, are any of these programs for a retail dispensary that is already operational?
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. I'm going to run out on 22. There's a couple of dispensaries. I was telling Wesley this. I am going to take me a quick walkthrough, and I have a couple that I've already, a couple of dispensary retail locations that I have already worked with. One was a facility that was changing from a cell phone repair store, now is a dispensary. So I'm going to take a few, and we help them with the heating, lighting, and cooling in those spaces as well. But yes, retail, absolutely.
Okay, and that is it for the open questions. Are there any other questions? Okay, hearing no questions, I turn it back over to Wes.
All right, thank you all so much. This last slide, you can see Glenn's information there. If you don't want to wait for that registration form, he's still going to have you fill it out anyway. Please feel free to reach out to him directly. We want to continue to provide these types of webinars for you. So as soon as we hear or learn of programs that are equitable for all licensees, we will try our best to bring them to you. Thank you all so much for your participation. Please be on the lookout for the follow-up email to this webinar that will have the registration form and Glenn's direct contact information so that he can dialogue with you. We can continue to connect him with groups. So I do see some chambers of commerce. I do see some trade associations on here. We can coordinate with Glenn to bring him to you to do this presentation in smaller groups as well, to continue to spread the word so that cannabis businesses can reap some of the benefit of these incentives that Glenn masterfully went over for us today. Thank you so much, Glenn, and I'll give you the final words.
I again, I appreciate you, Wesley. From the first day that I met you at the League of Municipalities, you have been gracious, a nice guy. I enjoy. I want to continue our partnership and working alongside with you and your whole team there, Nana, and of course the GW over there. Absolutely. So again, thank you for having me, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you for joining us. Have a good afternoon.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. Have a good
you.
one.
Take care.